It's been nice seeing those messages come in.
It gives me chills. It's very sweet.
Something else that probably gives you chills too, Flag City Honor Flight. When it's talked about in the community, a lot of people think of you, Dan, and that's because you've been on, 24 flights? And even though it's generally the same trip every time, you manage to find all the unique and heartfelt stories each time.
It all began 2017. Deb Wickerham from Flag City Honor Flight came to us. Hey, we'd like more coverage. Would you like to send a reporter with the next flight in June? My news director knew I loved veterans and history. So he said, do you want to do it? Yeah. And I was sports director still then. So I did that, and they loved my coverage so much. They said, you want to go to the next one? Yeah. So it started, and then I said, I can do a lot more if I can bring a camera person along, 2 people. So we could do lives throughout the day and the whole thing, and the rest is history. 24 flights. 24 flights. And I'm retiring, and I have joined the Flag City Honor Flight board. So I'm fitting. Honored to be with these great people.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, we wanted to know what you mean to the organization, so take a look at what they had to say.
A beautiful day here in Washington, D.C. We're at the World War II Memorial. You can see how beautiful and stately it is with the water and the granite everywhere. And over here, memorial to all the men and women who died.
You know, I've watched Dan go from TV news reporter talking about a story to let me just hear your story and tell me about it. And it has nothing to do with his job or nothing to do with anything about what he's there doing. He just wants to have that veteran story heard, and he wants to be there and talk to that veteran, and it means a lot to those folks to just have somebody listen and to understand where they're coming from.
Veterans know Dan. they love him being a part of this, and it's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
He has a fan club. He has a pack of ladies who come to every welcome home, and they come early so that they can reserve a seat right next to the ropes so that they can be the first ones to see Dan when they come in. And as soon as he comes in off that flight, you hear, Dan, 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 Dan. We laugh so hard. He has a following, definite following.
This is my eyes, I think he's a hero because the way that he puts the message out there and grabs the certain veteran to interview them and pulls the meaning out of what we do for Honor Flight and for our community it's hard to explain, but he's that guy, and he plays a key role in making sure our information is getting out there so the community knows what we do.
I consider Dan to be like the face of Honor Flight. He has been, I started actually on the same flight as Dan numerous years ago. And he is, just with his publicity that he's given to us, he has helped tremendously in getting the veterans involved and getting veterans signed up.
I think Dan does a really good job at not just talking to them as a journalist. I think he talks to them just like a human being. He cares about their spouse and their spouse's experience.
I know that your experiences in Vietnam were tough, and probably being on Honor Flight helped heal some of that.
Yeah, talk, my voice is gone, but I appreciate what you...
Their family's experience, what their family's experience is now, so it's not just that moment or that interview. And even throughout the day, I see him checking on those same veterans and talking to them, so I think just, again, comprehensively, he does a good job.
Good to see you. Come here. Lee?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Fayette, Ohio.
Fayette, Ohio.
Yeah.
One quick word. How was your day today?
It couldn't have been any better.
His heart is really in it, and he does get involved, and it touches him just as much as it touches us, and just so glad that he is able and has been able to do that for us for so long.
I believe he probably has saved some lives. The connections he makes with the veterans and just everybody he touches, he helps.
It's an amazing thing, and I'll never forget the day that he asked the veteran who was there at the Vietnam Wall to see his brother, and he's never seen his brother's name on the wall, and he heard the story, and he looked at the veteran and he says, "Would you like to tell the world about your brother?" And that meant a lot to that veteran, because now that veteran's story didn't die. So it was really important, and Dan brought that together, and he brought that in for that veteran, and that's a huge thing.
How you doing?
Real good.
You're tearing up on me here.
Yes. Very overwhelming.
What was it like coming home years ago and what this is like?
Oh, altogether different.
I think that, you know, we always have a number of veterans that are hesitant to go for one reason or another. And I think us having Dan, you know, putting that out there on the news and stuff has, I'm sure it's drawn some of them in too and got them on a flight, because once they go, they're happy they went. I mean, that's the thing, just getting them to go.
You have a lot of veterans who don't think that they're worthy of going on these flights, or they have hesitation to go on the flights because of, you know, the trauma from the war and the things that they've lived through at such a young age. And I think he does such a great job of bringing some of that to light so that others who might be going through the same turmoil or the same questioning about if they want to go, they're like, well, I see he's going on it and he had such a positive experience. I think that's what I want to do too. So I think it does help. I really do.
I want you to meet John Latham here from Sylvania. John, you served in the Navy during the Vietnam War.
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was very trying sometimes.
Yeah, and that's important for those people, because if we don't know what they went through, and after they tell their story, we have a better understanding, and that's what's the important thing with what he's been doing for us, and hopefully we can continue to get that message out there.
Every time after it's aired, we have an onslaught of veteran applications come in, so we know what he's doing for us is working.
And there's those few that you can't crack. Dan seems to be able to do it somehow. Somehow, some way he does it. Yeah, which is great.
I think everybody who's on this board is kind of affected in the same way, and it's heartwarming to see him still get choked up over stories. That tells you that he's invested, that he truly cares, and it's not just for viewership, it's because it's coming from the heart.
I'll wrap things up from here with Flag City Honor Flight. I'm Dan Cummins at Toledo Express. Back to you.
I should have had the tissues ready. Dan, how beautiful to hear what they had to say, and every word of it is true, because you go on every one of these flights and you hear and you tell every one of their stories.
It's beautiful, and 24 flights, and the stories are not hard to tell because they're all so different. Everybody did the same thing, kind of, but their life experiences are different along the stories are different. First of all, my thanks to Paul Quapic, who I've worked with on many flights.
It was a beautiful story that Paul put together there. But I've heard from a lot of people this week, the last couple of days, saying, is Dan going to still do the honor flights? Because it's so important to everybody. And of course, you mentioned you're going to be on the board, so you will be on the next one.
That is my next family.
Yeah.
You are all my family. Well, this board is a wonderful group of people who love WTOL and the coverage, and they love veterans, and they're a family too. So I've already joined that group, so I'm very, very happy with those people. And I'm so grateful to everyone on the board who spoke up in this story with Paul. I really appreciate it. It's very sweet.
And I know those veterans appreciate you sharing their stories.
I will be on the flight in September. I'll be going as a board member, yes.
Okay, all right. So stay tuned. So we'll still have coverage from Flag City Honor Flight. We'll be right back.